Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. We got a little bit of a dilemma. In here we have one of our Chilobrachys species, electric blue. And this female has been nothing but awkward from day one. This female actually killed her male. Yes, this female actually ate her male. And what I've been doing with these is I've managed to cohabit these and they've been pretty good. Up until we come to this girl. And she decided she weren't having none of it. He'd done about 24 hours and then that was that. So he'd actually managed to go through the others perfectly well. Now, we didn't actually see whether there was an insertion or anything. We just saw that our male had vanished. And then she carried on as normal for some time. And for some reason or other, I'm not quite sure, but I don't know whether I lost the label, because I normally stick a label on here to say when they were done. And I've done it for when they were cohabited, which was back last September. And normally what happens is when one of them disappears like this, and we're not 100% sure whether anything's happened, I normally put the date down that it disappears. And for some reason or other, this one hasn't got one. So I don't know whether it's fallen off and I've lost it or what, or maybe I just forgot to actually mark it up. But she has been missing for a long time. Now, we don't know now whether she is actually still alive. She may just have gone in, had a molt, died. Sometimes they'll go in, they'll molt out, and they'll stay underground for ages before they venture out because they're not hungry. And this is one of the things you see when we keep all of our spiders, we try and keep them on that edge where they're relatively hungry, but not massively hungry. The downside to that is they can molt out and they can stay underground for a couple of months at a time. And I think that this one, I'm pretty sure she disappeared just after Christmas. So I think she's had long enough. I want to dig her up and find out. Now, it's possible that she may have had an egg sac, in which case we might well have slings. And every day I look in here hoping to see a sling out in this bit of webbing or whatever. I haven't seen one yet. So we are now going to have a look and see what on earth is going on in this enclosure. And this is one of the reasons why it's very important that you keep records on your enclosures so that you know what's going on. And I can't for the life of me work out why this one, out of all of the enclosures that we got, has got that one piece of important information missing, which is a little bit frustrating. Right, so I'm going to turn this around this way, and I think, unfortunately, there is no way of knowing where she is, but I've got a feeling she's down in here somewhere. So we're going to have our tweezers ready. We're just... Sorry, I was too busy looking. We are just going to pull this back and see. Fingers crossed, she's still in here. Oh, that's a little bit disappointing. I thought there was a piece of timber under there. Yeah, there is, but it's up here. Where does that go to? I can't remember when we made this enclosure where that goes. You can see there's an entrance hole there. But she's been crafty. She's buried down in the centre, so we don't have no clue as to where she is. Right, so I think what we'll do is we'll cover that up and we're going to go in this way. So we're going to turn it around so you guys get to see a little bit. I'm going to lift this up, and she has got to be under here somewhere. I'm just going to pull this away. You can see a spider.
Oh, no, I see. Sorry, I'm sorry.
There's a spider. There she is. There she is. She looks fit and healthy. Oh, that was my fault. She looks good. I don't see an egg sac down there. Right.
She looks gorgeous. Can we get her out?
Right. Hold on. I'm not convinced. Right, there's definitely no egg sac there. Okay. Right, okay. So we will try and get her out so we can have a proper look. You can see her feet are here. Here's her legs. What I will do, I will turn this around so you get to see her coming straight at you. Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
And then, let's see if we can't get a decent look at her. There she is. Now I would actually say there's no molt in here either. So she has locked herself away for whatever reason. And it would perhaps suggest that maybe, just maybe, she had a sac and she's ate it maybe. There we go. She's looking very, very brown. Out of the ones that we got 4 of these, and they've all been relatively calm, very relaxed. This one has proven to be the opposite. She is a little bit more jumpy, and I say she did nail her male right at the end. She's in beautiful condition, as we can see. And you can see this lovely fluorescence on the legs there now. I mean, that really is very, very cool. And you can see what she'd done. She had a couple of entrances which had been sealed over. There was another one down in here, and there was one under the water bowl. And as you can see, this is really, really messy in here. And this is because we've just left it alone. And I soaked it a couple of days ago on the hope that maybe it would pull her out. But she didn't. She didn't come out at all. She stayed in there. So then we were sort of like, didn't really understand whether we had an egg sac or not. Unfortunately, we haven't. And this is why it's so important that you keep records so that you know where you are. And if we'd opened this up and we found her with an egg sac, it would have been prudent to take that egg sac away and put it in our incubator and do it ourselves. Because if we'd covered her up again, there's a good chance she might have destroyed it anyway because we'd disturbed her. So it was a bit of a catch-22. If we go in for good. There is no half measures really. As you can see there, she's very, very calm. She's very relaxed now. I think what we will do is we will look at giving her a rehouse, clean this enclosure up because it's pretty mucky. We'll get a molt out of her and then we'll try again. They've definitely put on a little bit of size. We're going to drop this back down now. Always be careful of your fingers. Look at that, she hasn't even moved. Very nice. We'll literally put that down there. Now the fact that we've uncovered her, she will probably start venturing out and about again now. And she'll be on the move. Very heavy webbers, these guys. They really do some awesome webbing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, like I say, because we've actually moved her, she is going to be prone to want to actually come out and do something now. So we'll make sure that she's got some nice fresh water. Dip that in there. We'll give that a little bit of a wipe, a bit of a clean. And we'll check on her. When we turn the lights off a bit early tonight, and then we'll come back in when it's dark, and we'll see whether she's out and about. and I'm pretty sure she will start venturing out again now. It's an interesting thing that they stay down, you know, and don't venture out. And this is one of the things that makes me think that maybe there was an egg sac, and she's probably eaten it at some point. And we had one of our other females produced an egg sac as well, and she done the same thing. She actually ate hers within 3 weeks. And I think one of the problems is these spiders are all the same age, and I think maybe they were just a little bit too young. And we found that with quite a few of them. When they're young like this, it can be very hit and miss. Whereas if you wait until you get that final molt, that one little bit more, they get a little bit bigger, then we tend to have better success. And it might well just be down to immature females. You know, they're just not ready to produce straight away. And I think this is something that happens in the wild as well. It's not a problem that is just fixed in captivity. In the wild, there's nothing to stop these spiders when they're young bumping into a mature male. That male will definitely try and get it on. He will try and mate with that female. And I think sometimes they probably do, but the success rates are very, very low. So this is something that we'll never know, because we've got no way of actually following spiders in the wild and knowing really what's going on. The only thing we have is if we maybe find a female that's got youngsters with her, and then we can look at the sizes and we can sort of work it out like that. But I've got a feeling we've seen it with many of the Poecilotheria. When we've attempted to pair them when they're young, 9 times out of 10 we either get very poor sacs, or the sacs just, you know, they end up destroying them or whatever. So it definitely pays to have a slightly older female, and I think that's probably where we maybe rushed it a little bit with these guys. We thought they were ready, but I think we probably could have done with one more molt out of them, and they would have been better, because all females went the same way. They've all done the same thing. So they are looking better. They're bigger now. Interesting, we didn't see a molt in there, which again suggests maybe that egg sac. Right. Well, that was really worth having a look at, and definitely it points out the fact that, you know, how important it is to have this information. And I can't for the life of me think why it isn't on there. Whether I just missed it, or I've lost it, or something. But something's happened. I think chances are I probably just missed it. And probably one of them things where I've been in here, she's disappeared, and I've looked at it and I've thought, yeah, I've not seen her for a few days. I'll put a label on there, and I've carried on doing my work and bits and pieces, and I've forgotten all about it. And then, yes, you can tell. It's terrible, isn't it? It's a very, what's the word?
I think 1 out of quite a few hundred spiders is fine.
No, it's terrible. So it's a very, very basic error, and try and make sure you don't make it, because you end up in the stage we're in now, where we're having to dig them out to find out what's going on. Not always the best answer, but because we knew what we were doing here, we have left her and left her and left her, on the hope that maybe if there was a sac, it would have hatched. So we've given them lots and lots of time. I say it's been since about Christmas. So you would have thought if you had young in there, you would have seen something by now. So we try and edge our bets a little bit, and try and make sure that we don't disturb something that we shouldn't have disturbed. I am, to be honest, just happy that we found a live spider. That is always a good thing, because it means that we can carry on and we can try again at a later date. So, moral of the story is, make sure you put your labels on. Yes, keep good records. Slap on the wrist. Very bad boy. Right then. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I'll see you soon, guys.